What are you asking dumb questions for? Nah, not even, man. Not even, bro.
Where's the
it's just
Arsenal
cold,
shirt?
innit, man? Bro, when have you ever seen me in an Arsenal shirt, innit, man? It's the same reason I don't sing North London Forever, man. Like, there's just certain things that I don't associate with the club, innit? And that's why I'm like probably gonna be number one in camp, innit? But it's cool, innit, man? It's what it is, innit?
Hey, Connie.
Check complete. Let's head over to the bar.
Yes. So welcome back to another episode of the VARBAR podcast. My name is Andrew, aka Rapping Drew. We are on episode 226, I believe, or 227. One of them. As you can see, it's been a minute. We haven't released the episode in like 3 weeks. Obviously, life is lifing. People got shit to do, but of course, we are back because it's been a big week in Europe. It's a Friday. I mean, you'll get to see it Saturday morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching it episode. And I'm joined by the full crew, man. Jay to the Mace in the building, obviously representing Arsenal. He ain't spoke a word. We've been talking for 10 minutes. He's just been quiet, normal levels. Then obviously we got Toast. You can see here it says back to the drawing board, Gooner. We'll touch on that obviously later on. And we got man like Strizzer. He's just smiling teeth to teeth from a long time. Obviously, the viewers have been missing you still.
Dices, front teeth, back teeth on show. Come on, man.
All 32, man. Welcome, guys. First of all, how you guys doing, man?
It was a start, man. Should I start? Because I'm happy in it. I'm happy right now. So I don't know if you want to start on the negative and then go to the positive, or start with the positive and go to the negative. But obviously for me, bro,
you Gucci.
I ain't been happy all season, but this day to day, yeah, man, amazing, happy.
Yeah, we'll touch on you guys first, man. Obviously, we'll touch on the Gooners. We'll touch on you guys later. Sorry, we'll touch on the Gooners first. But me as well, as you can see, my tagline, it used to be, champions elect. Then it was 3 more wins, 2 more wins, 1 more win, and now simply 20. For those of you that think I'm being shameless with, you've only seen 2 Premier Leagues. How many have you seen in your lifetime? Suck your mother. 20. We've equaled United. Know what I mean? And we're about to go for 21 Savage next season, man. I believe in a back-to-back. But we'll touch on that later, man. Let's jump onto the Champions League fixtures, man. Obviously, the semi-finals was between Barcelona and Inter, and then obviously Arsenal and PSG. We didn't tape any recordings for the first leg. So obviously the first leg, PSG beat Arsenal 1-0 at the Emirates. Am I correct? And Barca Inter was 3-0. And then obviously it was all to play for in the second leg, which happened this week. Let me go to you, Mace, before touching on the actual second leg. When you lost the 1-0 to Inter, 1-0 to PSG at home, what were your thoughts, man?
Similar to yours, literally word for word. When you said they're not winning this, I knew we weren't winning. That was it, really. Just from the caliber of football played to looking at what we lacked and trying to replay that game again in Paris away when you need to be better than your best. Nothing about what I saw in the first leg gave me hope that we were going to win. So now I fell into I could have there was 2 camps, either the Delulu camp or the hopeless camp, and I just didn't want to join neither camp. So basically I just, whatever happened, I just dealt with it. Essentially, that was my position. And so from what I saw, I just knew we weren't turning it around. Sorry.
Okay, cool. And then obviously the second leg came, and you guys started pretty well. Like in the first 20 minutes, you guys were onto them. You guys were giving it, the Premier League football, long balls, stick it into the mixer, Declan Rice with an early header, long throw-ins, and obviously you were giving PSG a lot of problems. So then at that point, what were you thinking then? Were you thinking if we get the first goal, we might win it?
Well, I understand why we did the crosses into the box, because if you look at how we played PSG the first time around, that was how we got our goal via Havertz. Trossard crosses the ball, Havertz jumps over everyone, scores. But if you're looking at that goal, you would probably, and actually you would, in retrospect, you would say Donnarumma could have done better in that game. But now, this game, both games, Donnarumma was their best player, in my opinion, at least man of the match. So
Yeah.
It didn't click. And what we were trying to do didn't click just because of one, they had the best players stepping up, and we just didn't have the attacking quality required to turn it around. And that's basically the facts of the matter.
Before I go to Toast, Strizza, I don't know if I want to call you a neutral, but would you call this at all deserved? Because obviously the underlying stats show that Arsenal, if they had better attacking quality, they should have won the game. But obviously in the boxes, that's where the difference was made. So can you argue that this was deserved, or how do you see it?
Yeah, like obviously, I agree with Shalom to a certain extent. I think Arsenal, the first 25, 30 minutes of the first leg, I think PSG kind of shocked everyone because the atmosphere beforehand was heavy. You could hear it through the TV, man. And then PSG silenced the crowd with the early goal. They were dominant. Timber made about 15 fouls in the first 10 minutes. And PSG were on top. And Arsenal was struggling. But, you know, Arsenal had chances, man. Martinelli had a chance. And on another day, maybe another couple may have got in. PSG was clinical. Especially. Yeah, Trossard's one as well. Great save. Like, Donnarumma made some great saves in both legs. If Arsenal were more clinical, then yeah, maybe they would have had more of a chance. But I don't want to make excuses for them, man. Because at the end of the day, like, you got to take your chances in football. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And they didn't do that. And it was always going to be tough going into the second leg, trying to overturn a 1-0 deficit going away from home. But they could have scored in the first 20, 25. It was like complete reversal from the first leg. Arsenal were dominant for the first 20, 25. Had a few chances. Rice header, one flash across the box. Martinelli did take their chances. PSG did punish them. So you could look at it and say, look, Arsenal were unlucky maybe. And if they had have gone and signed a striker in January, someone that could put the ball in the back of the net, maybe that's the difference, obviously, from getting yourself into a final. But you got to credit PSG because I think a lot of Arsenal fans that I spoke to before the tie was announced, they were happy. They thought, yeah, we're going through. They thought because they beat them in the group stage, they beat them again. But it's a different PSG team. And I think across the two legs, despite the fact Donnarumma was man of the match, I think, for both games, I think they deserve to go through, man. They were clinical.
Yep. Toast, kind of like wrap up in terms of like, is there anything that Mikel Arteta could have done differently, tactically, personnel-wise? Because I've been seeing a lot of noise in regards to that as well, like why certain people have been used. Where do you stand on that?
Hey man, there's levels to this thing, innit, man? And I think over 180 minutes, PSG really just showed us that there's levels, bro. Like for me, no Partey first leg, fine, it happens. A league season is 10 months long, so you know that you're gonna have ups and downs, you're gonna have injuries, you're gonna have suspensions in it. So if you're telling me that one man goes down and the rest of the team crumbles, that's either one, not a well-constructed team, or two, that's not a good team, period. Like, first Champions League semi-final in 16 years, and you can't get up for that game. You can't give a better performance than that. PSG had more shots, they had more possession, they had more passes at home. Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, there's levels to this, man. Second leg, Partey comes back into the team. You're looking at the team sheet. That's 9 out of 11 of your best players. No one can say that, because this man was missing. Fine, Gabriel was missing. I understand that. But we've known for weeks Gabriel's done for the season. Havertz was missing. Fine. You know how I feel about Havertz. I don't mess with Havertz anyway. But fine, let's just assume he was fit. That's 9 out of your 11 best players. And again, you didn't do enough. So for me, it already says that if you have so many of your first team players available and you still get worked like that in both legs, it actually means that you're actually nowhere near where you think you are to be competitive. So for me, I guess my biggest frustration is just, in my opinion, just still how far the team is from being the elite in Europe. We watched the 2 legs of Inter and Barcelona, and we still have deluded Arsenal fans thinking that we could have gone band for band against those teams. Yes, none of them teams wanted to defend over 180 minutes. I understand that, but read my lips. Barcelona and Inter would have washed us in the final, innit? Let's keep it a buck. They would have absolutely washed us because we can't even do the you score me, I score you thing. We ain't even got the attacking quality for that, bro. So what are we doing here, man? PSG on paper probably was our best tie. PSG have not won the Champions League. Inter have got their Champions League. Barca have got their multiple Champions Leagues. And I said when the tie was made that, with all respect to PSG, this is probably our best opportunity to go through. Not because I don't think PSG aren't a great team. Not because I don't think they have ballers. Like we've seen what Dembele has done from Jan till now. The numbers he's put up. We've seen the strides that Kvaratskhelia has taken. Do you know what I mean? Since he made the move from Napoli. Do you understand? Like this is a very quality team. But just for the fact that neither team have won the Champions League, neither team have had a chance to lift the big airs. You would like to think that going into the tie, we were equally balanced, you know what I mean? And man, we shit the bed, man. They really showed us levels, man. I was really actually shocked at the gulf over the 180 minutes. And yeah, people are going to say, oh, we had our chances, Trossard this, Donnarumma that, but we don't have enough quality. It's as simple as that. We don't have enough quality. Like, for me, you asked the question, like, how did I feel after the first leg? You're always going to have hope in it because it's 1-0. But realistically, like I said, if you can't get up for your first Champions League semi-final in 16 years at home, Liverpool, best team in England, are out. City, best team in England for the last 5 years, are out. You knocked out Real. Bayern, the team that's been your nemesis for years, out. And you still can't progress? Come on, man. Like, come on, man. Like, honestly, this was our best opportunity in close to 2 decades. And we shit the bed, man. Back to the drawing board, man. That's all I can say.
So, for you, is it more like a Arsenal problem rather than PSG were just better, or are just a better team, or have the better manager, or was it for you simply you guys shit the bed? You guys weren't up for it.
It's a combination of both. I can't take anything away from PSG over the 2 legs. They were unbelievable. If I'm honest, I expected them to be as good as they were. For me, the only reason I felt as if I favoured Arsenal was one. The fact that PSG have not won a Champions League and they were going to be feeling the same pressure that we were feeling coming in. So in my opinion, that's what made it a toss-up. PSG had been like the nearly men in Champions League like we have. Do you know what I mean? So I felt as if they didn't have that aura, that Champions League aura, that, you know, that little something that all the teams that have won the Champions League have in their stadiums. So that's what I kind of felt gave us an edge. And then obviously the confidence from the Real game. But gotta give them man credit, man. They were absolutely brilliant. And that actually just brings me on to another point. Like, I'm still Arteta in. I'm still ride or die for Arteta. I understand like what he's done over the last 3 years, but absolutely disgusting comments, man. At the end of the game, talking about
you segued it for me personally. Quickly, sorry.
Like, bro, I want to go into war with Arteta next year, but if I'm going to go to war with you, have some self-awareness, my bro. We were not the better team over the 2 legs. I don't know what imaginary person on PSG's bench told you that we were the better team. Just for Luis Enrique to come after the game to debunk it. Hold the L, understand that there's levels to this, and get better next season. Like, because for me, my issue with that is him not taking accountability and responsibility is arrogance. But where's the arrogance coming from? You got scored over 2 legs. Like, for me, the comments don't make any sense.
Where do you think it's coming from? Where do you think it's coming from?
He's a sore loser. That's what Arteta is.
He's a big sore loser. It doesn't make sense. That comment does not make sense.
That's what he is.
I would have respected him more if he said, it's man, for me, it's bad attitude because it's you're not seeing what everyone else is seeing. Do you know what I mean? Talking about we would have bet, bro. We lost 3-1. Like, bro, come on.
He weren't just saying that. He weren't just saying that. Hold on. He weren't just saying that he was the best team out of the 2. Like, he said he was the best team in Europe. Arsenal were the best team in Europe. That's how we felt.
Yeah.
Herein lies the issue. It's the Lulu. That's delusional comments, in my opinion.
But is that not in the image of your fan base though? Not everyone, but like the vast majority of your. I don't even want to say vast majority, but a section of your fan base. That's what they're screaming as well.
Every
this is why I'm upset.
Go ahead.
This is
talk.
sorry, mate. Final point. Why I'm
ahead.
upset is if you're making these comments after a 3-1 L, that means you think we're closer or much better than we actually are. So come next season, we should probably expect the same. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, he has to just be a man and say that we were not the better team and we have to be better. Like you're not taking ownership for the L. I don't understand the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed. Go on,
I
Mace.
mean, I'll make a couple of points. Taking it back, I do think in the game, especially against PSG, that say we had better attacking quality, that game would have been different. Yes, PSG not played us out of the park, but quality-wise, especially in midfield, they were very good. But we had good chances, and if we took those chances, that game would have ended up differently, right? So let's take that point in regards to how Arteta saw that game develop. I don't agree with him with his position where he says we were the better team. We clearly weren't. But PSG, I know people are singing their praises, but they can be got. And Arsenal has shown that you can get PSG. You just need to finish, which Arsenal
Not
can't
just Arsenal.
do.
Not just Arsenal
Okay,
showing that. Villa, Liverpool
fine,
showing that.
That's
But that's what I'm saying. How you're phrasing it, that's how you're...
Listen to me. I'm saying Arsenal because that was the last game. It was the last game. No, it was the last game. So of course, Villa has done. Okay, cool. Let's move on. I'm not taking away from the other teams that played PSG, but I'm just telling you they can be got. But just to the second point which you raised, every fan base has elements of Delulu fans. So I don't think you can just put us
not like the Gooners, man. Not like the Gooners. Okay. I'm sorry. Not like you, man.
Okay.
I'm sorry. In terms of
hold on.
No. But that's what I'm saying. It's not like the vast majority. It's a section of your fan base. But I do feel like, and you guys know it as well. You guys' confidence and your arrogance and your whatever is here, but you haven't achieved anything. And this is why people are making those comments about Arsenal fans are Delulu. Whereas like other fans, at least like United fans, for example, they are in the gutter. But this United in the gutter have reached 5 finals in the past 5 years and won 2 of them. They might the third one in 2 weeks. No, I mean, Arsenal hasn't even got that, and you're talking like you're that, and that is it. That's what people have an issue with.
Personally, the way I perceive it is not. I understand that there's an element of talking too much. The way I perceive it is we're loud. That's what I'll grant you or accept it. We're the loudest, one of the loudest fan base. But from what I see, I don't see any we are going to win. I don't see overconfidence or that arrogance you keep touching about. I don't see that. I see loudness, but I don't see that arrogance. Because
so what loudness do you see? What do you mean by loudness then? Elaborate on the loudness.
Basically, a bit of like an exaggeration in regards to what we do, what we accomplish. Just an exaggeration, talking up about players, talking about this. Like if you had one good game and he became the second coming of whoever, he's not good. It's not good enough. So that's the type of example I can pull out. But we're not there yet. But one thing I take offense to is where we are criticized for winning that Madrid game, for example, right? We won the game. It's like if you beat Madrid home and away, you will be excited, right? Yes, we haven't won anything yet, but you would be excited. Would it live long in our history? Of course it will. So
but this is my thing. So this is why I feel like Arteta mirrors like you, man. He absolutely mirrors that, because how is that game? I swear, Strizza, did you guys not beat Madrid once a few years ago in the Champions League as well? I swear you did.
Yeah, we beat 3-1 at Wembley.
It's like, is that living long in your memory?
The thing about this whole Madrid thing, if I can add my 2 pence in, is
why would that live long in your memory?
On one side of their mouth, they're like, "Oh, you man have no history in the Champions League. You don't have no aura. You've not got those nights. You've never had the stadium." But and then on another side, we win a big game, and then we can't say anything about it, because if we celebrate it just a little bit, oh, you've not achieved nothing. Win the thing then. Like, bro, you man can't have it both ways.
No, but
like,
no one said that.
understand
No, that's not what I'm arguing. That's not what I'm arguing. Because we all congratulated you. We all congratulate you when you won it, and we all bigged it up, and like you beat up. No one is saying, no one is diminishing that. What I'm talking about is what Shalom is saying is that particular result in isolation right now means nothing. He's telling me it's living long in the memory. I find that ridiculous. In my opinion.
Of course it does. No, sorry, Tokes. Let me just deal with that. When we beat on our 06 run, right? Who remembers the Villarreal game? Mind you, that was the semi-finals. Most people remember the Madrid game, right? So there's certain games you remember. So I don't understand this whole, because I said it's living long in our history. It becomes a point of a bone of contention.
Mace?
It's like there's certain games you remember, certain games you don't.
Why would you remember?
We actually need to start.
Hold on. What's your thoughts on this, Strizza?
Just very quickly, Strizza, before you go, a game where we haven't scored any free kicks within years. Declan Rice steps up, scores 2. Those are great memories you don't forget. So I reject this agenda, this thing that we can't celebrate and we can't.
You can't tell someone's opinion and call it an agenda. You like to do that, but it's not. It's my opinion that I think that is ridiculous.
Andy,
I think it's ridiculous that.
Well, that's
yeah.
Go ahead. Exactly what Toad says about you can't have it both ways. You can't say.
But we're not having it both ways. We're not telling you to not celebrate the Madrid win, but it's ridiculous for me to say it's living long in the memory.
Andy, you know as well. You're low-key. You're a nasty guy as well, because anyone will tell you that 06 win was a good win. And yes, we've not won the Champions League, but it was a very historic win. No one had ever gone to the Bernabeu and won a game. So then,
that's different.
Why don't you just let? But why
the context there is different?
Hear me out, Andy. Why don't you just let Arsenal fans have that? Because then I remember a month ago, you were dropping the team sheet. Like, this was so shameless. You were dropping the team sheet from 06. These Galacticos, they were washed. Ronaldo was washed. Raul was washed. Like, come on.
No. Listen. No. But what I'm just saying now, the 06 one is a different context. I understand why that one will live long in the memory, because that one, you beat them. It was historic. Henry, the historical goal. You went on to go to a final that you potentially could have won. This one, you got out in a sorry way in a semi-final. You didn't even reach the final. You weren't even on the cusp of winning it.
Especially both situations, we didn't win anything. Both 06 and
no. But that one, at least you went to the final. At least
I find it interesting that you understand context from that particular point, but you don't understand the context in this point. So that hence why I use the word agenda.
I'm in the league of dubs, man. I'm in the league of dubs.
Fine.
If you're in the league of L's and just celebrating eventual losses,
that's fine.
That's you in it
with the agenda, because you can see one thing, but you clearly don't want to. Clearly, you understand context. But yeah, Strizza.
No, I don't understand your point. I truly don't.
Okay.
But Strizza, go on.
That's fine.
I'm just loving it, man. You man, carry on.
Enjoying
I'm just watching. I love this. I love this. Now, genuinely, if I'm being completely honest, I understand why the Real Madrid result would live long in the memory, because it was a shock. It was no one thought they'd win 3-0. The free kick element, I get it. I do get it. But to Andy's point of it's led to nothing. I know you didn't win in 06 as well, but you got to the final. So I think it does become more of a historic moment. You're Arsenal fans, right? So you can completely look back at whatever game you won and see it as like a monumental thing or a historic thing. That's completely fine. Me personally, would I see it as that if I didn't get to the final? Probably not. But that's just me, innit? But I think in general, like what I want to say about like Arsenal and the fans, I don't necessarily think like all the fans think like this, but I do think the fans have this like sense of, I don't know, you're better than you are. Like we talk about, there's always comparisons between Pochettino's Spurs and Arteta's Arsenal, right? And I know that when we were doing what you're doing now, we were the nearly men. We never got over the line, this, that, the other, and we caught corn for it. But for some reason, Arsenal are applauded for it. what a journey, we'll go again next time. Arteta's been in the job for 6 seasons, right? This is 6th season, and we're still talking about a journey. Bro, you should be doing it now. He's had 700 million, 800 million at his disposal, yeah? He's got rid of the players he wanted to get rid of. He's got his team now. And as Drew said earlier, you man are not getting to finals and you're not getting over the line. So this whole thing of, I don't know, like, I feel like you're not necessarily you two, but a lot of the fans, yeah, that I know and that I see on social media and things like that, big yourself up so much. I don't get where that comes from. I'll be honest.
Now you make some good points. One thing I would only say is I can't accept the notion that we've been applauded for anything personally. That's the only thing I disagreed with in what you said, Striz. But points were made, didn't it?
I think he means within your fan base, isn't it? You're still, you know.
Does back to the drawing board look like I'm patting myself on the back? I'm
not
livid,
you, bro. And like I said, a small section of the fan base, isn't it? Let me ask you two a question, though, Mace and Toast. What does this mean for Arsenal going forward? Obviously, another season ending up trophyless. 2 Carabao Cup semi-final and Champions League semi-final. Obviously, progress in the Champions League, of course, but league, it's a big downgrade, to be honest. And then FA Cup, you left in the first round, I think. We have signed up for this at the start of the season. If someone told you this season would have panned out this way, would you have still said Arteta in? If this was August?
Absolutely. It depends. It depends on the context again. Because knowing the context,
knowing someone would tell you there'll be a few injuries, you would still finish.
Hence why I signed up for this. Hence why my position is I'm giving Arteta 1 more year. Because of course the context. Next year is the year where we have to make certain steps, in my opinion. And as soon as if that doesn't happen, similar to Pochettino, that particular era is done. Let's move on. That's the way I look at it. So next year for me completes that phase 4, 5, whatever phase Arteta has been uttering. The next year is the final finale of that particular phases. And if it doesn't click, sayonara. Go ahead.
I want to do something very quickly in it. Striz and Drew, just stay with me in it. So Arsenal, let's just look at Arsenal's first 11, right? David Raya, Mazu Skelly, Gabriel Saliba, Timber, Odegaard, Partey, Rice, Martinelli, Saka, Havertz. That's our best 11, right? For Arsenal, in your opinion, to go on to win a league or win the Champions League, how many of those players that I've mentioned in the 11 would you be comfortable with starting and say, you know what, yeah, this team is good enough to go on to win a league, to go on and win a Champions League? Just out of those 11, just out of interest.
I think Timber, the keeper. I think your back line is good enough. Lewis Kelly had a horrible game against PSG, but I think he's brilliant, to be honest. Midfield needs surgery.
How much surgery would you say?
2/3. Rice can hang. Rice has proven this season that, you know, at the 8 position, not as a 6, but in the 8, I really, really like him there. I can't lie. Can't front. It's really good. Good at what he does. And then obviously the Martinelli and the number, I've been saying the 9 is an issue. Whether it's Havertz or Gabriel Jesus, they're both not cutting it, in my opinion. But in terms of like your back line, yeah, your back 5 is calm.
So you're pretty much speaking my language. Strizza, let me go to you now very quick. Same question.
Yeah, no, I agree with what Drew said, man. Pretty much, literally midfield. You can argue that obviously Partey's good. Like when you missed him in the first leg and stuff. Whether you need to get someone else if he goes, obviously that's a big thing. I think Odegaard hasn't got any competition. So in the 10, you need something, and then 9 and left wing.
Again, Strizza, you're speaking my language. That's all just to say, in my opinion, innit? We need to upgrade Odegaard. We need to upgrade Partey. We need to upgrade Martinelli. We need to upgrade Havertz. Those are 4 key positions that will make us competitive, right? I'm happy with the back line. I'm happy with Raya. So for me to jump ship with Arteta, knowing that there's 4 players in the starting lineup alone that I can upgrade. Like, do you not think that he's done an okay job to warrant his support? He's like, because if you're saying we can upgrade 4 key positions, then who knows what we could do if we can upgrade those positions? This is my whole point. I don't think anyone is under any illusions that Arsenal have like the best squad. Like, what have I been retweeting in the group chat? Like, I believe in the philosophy, which is the defensive aspect of it. And you guys have agreed, right, that our defense and the goalkeeper is solid. But mistakes have been made in midfield and attack. But we can be competitive with tweaks. Like, for me, I don't think it's difficult. So for me, I'm not going to jump off Arteta. Even for me to hear 1 season, he's only got 1 season. No, because I remember someone reminded me when Watford had 31 shots against us. I remember when we were finishing 8th. So
this will end up as the Wenger. This will end. This is what you man had with Wenger, and you will go on,
maybe,
and then it will be just the FA Cup.
Maybe, but this has been 3 seasons of being competitive, innit? We didn't
win a cup
for 9 years.
My problem with that is, and I stand on this. I stand by this. You should not have let Liverpool win the league this year. Like, I agree, you need to do certain upgrades in certain positions, 110%. But if City weren't going to win the league this year, it was Arsenal's. Liverpool have come out of nowhere. Slot's just
regardless of the team,
and obviously he's had to do certain things to the team, make certain changes, etc. There's no way Liverpool should have won it, no way. And that's where I think those upgrades need to happen moving forward. But you had enough to no way be how many points? 16 points is it? 16 points, or I don't even know how many points it is, off top of the league, and to potentially not even finish second. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know whether, like,
I agree with you there. Hold on. So let me pick back off that. I fully agree with Strizzo on that. And the second one is that Arteta had years, windows to build a squad, to improve. He was the one that signed Sterling, Marino, and them, man. He was the one that signed no one in January. You know what I mean? Or he was at least part of.
Okay,
part of the people, decision makers, etc. That's him, bro. So that's why I don't want to really.
Well,
I hear what you're saying,
Andy. You know what it is.
But are you trusting Arteta? Obviously, you have a new sporting director, but are you trusting him for several more windows? That's why I said it might become a Stockholm syndrome thing, bro. And you end up.
I agree. I agree that I agree that it can't be like an indefinite support of him. Do you know what I mean? Because he decided to bring in the Havertzes. Do you know what I mean? Some of his signings have not worked. And yes, I agree that this last 3 years, what I've considered a championship window, can absolutely be seen as a failure. And going into the year, the notion of finishing above Liverpool, of Liverpool finishing above Liverpool, for me, it was laughable. And yeah, I've got egg on my face. As you've seen, you've clipped me many times saying that. However, if we actually look at the end of the season and you want to put a best 11, Arsenal v Liverpool probably come out 9-2. Like, if I'm honest,
I said this year at the start of the season, and you said it didn't matter. And you said it didn't matter.
I'm holding the L now.
But
the thing is, Andy, you admitted I was wrong, so we don't need to beat that dead horse. My point being, perhaps maybe Declan Rice, and perhaps maybe what position am I thinking? Maybe the centre back, Gabriel or Saliba for Konate. Other than that, I don't think there's anyone in the Liverpool team in the Arsenal team that gets into the Liverpool team. So while I understand at the start of the season we should have won the league, hindsight actually tells us that Liverpool were way more well equipped to win the league. Arsenal need to ring the changes. That's just all I'm saying, isn't it, man?
But why were
I was going to make a.
Because you finished.
Let's move on quick though. Let's move on. Last points.
You know what I mean,
let's make this. Yeah.
Why were they?
No, I'm just saying. I don't understand why. Like, I know hindsight is an amazing thing. You can look back and think, do you know what? Actually, but you finished second the last 2 seasons. Like, so why are they better?
We have to give a lot of credit to Slot, and because I wasn't a believer that the way Liverpool played so open and so free last year, with more or less the same players, that they'd be able to translate and pick up results the way they do without it just being sloppy football. But I've seen a clear difference between the Klopp football and the Slot football with largely the same personnel. So you have to put it up to the way they set up, the way they play, the way he's asked them to play. Because at the end of the day, they've not really changed the team that much between last year and this year. It's the same core, it's the same spine, is it not? More or less. So, like.
So do you think? Last thing, do you think then that more? I don't know, like more has to be looked at on Arteta tactically, how he's setting the team up, certain things. Because
that's interesting.
It's a mixture of both, 100%.
Now, I was just saying, if Slot can come in and make that happen in his first season, then Arteta obviously maybe you need to have a more of a look at him.
Let me take that point actually, because something that dawned on me when I was going through Arteta's reign at Arsenal, and the FA Cup run was very important. So if you take a lot of parallel and similarities with this PSG loss, and Toast, I'll just speak to you, right? Remember the FA Cup run, the semi-finals and finals. Do you remember one thing that stood out in regards to how we won those games? There's one person who stood out the most.
Well, Alba. Yeah, he was so clinical.
And I think exactly, and I think that's what we are missing the most. That player who is a difference maker. We don't have a difference maker. There's only so much to how well you can coach a team. When you get to the semi-finals and the finals, when it's time to step up, that's when the great players, the difference makers, step up. And without you, if you don't have them, then you're just praying for you're praying. You understand? So as much as I take your points in regards to Drew's point and Strizz's point in regards to Arteta and where they've gone, I've always said this out loud in regards to my opinion about Arne Slot. I've always given him his flowers in this pod because I recognized what he was doing. You can't take away the fact that Arne Slot still needed that Salah run, that difference maker, to get him where he is, right? And we just don't have that difference maker this season, because you could say, and I think second point, I do think if Saka was injury free this season, perhaps we would have run Liverpool closer, right? Okay, following up that PSG game, watch how they basically free marked Saka. It was done. He was basically done, and we didn't have anyone on the left or in the middle to make a difference as much. So it is what it is, man. We lack difference makers, and I'll give Arteta credit for where he's taken us. But for me, I don't think he should do more than 2 years without showing us something substantial. Because like Drew has said, we'll go into that Wenger situation where we have a manager who just runs stale in that club. We have to be a club where we recognize when enough is enough.
Agreed.
And call it a day. But I'm very happy that we got Berta in.
And just my last point, don't be afraid, because I see a lot of Arsenal fans thinking, where do we go from Arteta? Bro, there's hella managers out there, bro. Like, people said the same about us and Arne Slot. There's managers out there, man. Like, don't be afraid to move on or think that, there's no life after Arteta, in it. But let's move on to the other semi-final, because that one, I think both games were entertaining in my opinion, but that one was just a festival of poor defensive actions, if it's how I'll call it. And for me, I was pretty surprised about that, especially from an Inter point of view, because obviously Barcelona flick football. I don't know how you guys see it, but I think flick football works extremely well with the Bayern team that he had at COVID, because that team had a good defense. This team hasn't got a good defense, so he has to really rely on his Uers up front to make the difference, and then obviously the attacking quality of his opposition to not do much. And the reason why, because people were at me when I said I believe in Inter Milan, and I believe Inter Milan can handle this Barcelona team. In fact, I believe Inter Milan can win this tournament. I got ridiculed. People were at me. People were saying Inter is the worst team out of the four, blah, blah, blah. First of all, these two games played out kind of exactly how I thought they would play out. Minus Inter's poor defense. Barca's high line is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous the way they play. And any team, and that's why I said I think Strizza, you said it, and I think a few other people said it, that or Tosh, you said it, that Barca and Inter would absolutely slap Arsenal. I think if Arsenal met Barca in the final, Arsenal would win. I 100% believe that. Because that line is ridiculous, man. And you saw that at the Inter game. The only reason why Barca is so good is because their attacking talent is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm looking particularly at Lamine Yamal, who is just as a
And midfield as
17-year-old.
well.
Midfield is good as well. Frankie de Jong, Pedri and them, man. Of course, their midfield. Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez. They do the job for them. But their defense is nothing to write home about. And I don't understand why he plays that football. Obviously, for the vast majority of the season, it's worked. It's worked. He's beaten Madrid. He's won every final so far. He's about to win the league. It's, nearly got to the Champions League final. But it was complete suicide, man. I mean, what did you guys think? What do you guys think of flick football? Which is obviously on one hand exciting, but on the other hand, you see what happened.
I don't know, man. It just reminds me of Tottenham at certain points, without obviously the attacking ability in the midfield. I don't want man to start laughing because I know we're not as good.
Nah, it's true. It's true though.
Just the high line, like it's ridiculous. Like I think it's even higher with like, their man rushed to the halfway line. Yeah. And I understand trying to press and like kind of pen the opposition in. But you think after like 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals, you can see off the high line, you retreat maybe 10 yards or so. I don't think it's necessary to have such a high line, especially when you've got attacking players that in any moment can do a bit of magic and can win you a game of football. So it's a little bit, like I know they've done well. They won the Copa del Rey, the top of the league, likely to win the league. But I think it should have been adapted, obviously, for the Champions League, especially in the semi-final stage. But I guess some managers they got playing and they want to stick to that way, innit? So,
bro, they were up with like 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes, bro. How are you letting a Cherby go from all the way? Like how, bro? Like it's mad.
And it's those kind of games. Sorry, I'm straight. It's those kind of games you appreciate managers like Mourinho when you just like luck up shot. Like whatever you do, just luck it up. But these managers are basically ride or die for their beliefs, and that's just how it goes. So you either believe in it 100% or you don't.
Nah, because you know what it is. Maybe 9 out of 10 times it works, and you have to give Flick credit for that. It works.
Yeah.
My only thing is for I know they're broke boys, but they need to get better defenders that can actually. Yeah. That's what they need, and then obviously, that can actually defend properly, concentrate properly. They have a lot of young players as well. Inter, they were just you can see the experience dripping from them. At Cherby, it's not every day by young players. Sometimes by old seasoned Donnies that've been there before. You know what I mean? And that's what Inter was. They were full of that. So Inter always look confident. They didn't look defeated.
That a Cherby finish. Do you reckon he put any power into it? I just feel like he just followed through and he just went in. It was such a nice finish.
The pass from Dumfries was perfect, man.
I think the pace was on the ball, man. He just has to direct it. It was a good finish, man. For a centre back to put that away, man. It's a great finish. But
cold
facts.
Yeah, I think Barca are naive, man. Low key. Like I know it's worked in like you said, 9 out of 10 times. But and for the neutral, like for us, like to watch a game like that, unbelievable. Like one of the best games I've seen all season. But if I was a Barca fan, I'm so close, and I know that my team is better than that team. If my manager can just adapt slightly, like you say, sometimes it's in game. We've gone 3-2 up. We've been 2-0 down in both legs. We've gone 3-2 up. We're winning. Just retreat. Sit back,
bro.
Just see it out. Just see it out. Like,
hey, andale, back.
Yeah, but that comes down to the players though. Like I know that they're quite a young team, but at the same time they've got a few experienced heads in their team as well. Like in-game management as players, like we're gonna defend this lead and get through to the final. So I think they got to take responsibility as well.
Quick chat on Lamine Yamal, man. 17-year-old. People 2 years ago called him generational. We called those people crazy. Not crazy, but like too early to call it. But I think now, this guy is generational. Or no? Toast, man, you take it away because you were the biggest skeptic, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, a wise man once said, "I've seen enough." I've seen enough because it's not just, and obviously, I'm wearing a Real jersey. Whatever's gone down in the World Cup and in the Messi Ronaldo era, CR7 is always going to be my personal GOAT. I'm not going to dispute it if people want to call Messi the GOAT and stuff like that. But I always felt like sometimes people gave Messi more credit than Ronaldo because of the dribbling. Do you know what I mean? Because of the vast dribbling ability. But with Yamal, man, like I am just, it's the dribbling aside, it's actually his ability to influence the game at all moments of the game at 17. Like, I don't think people are even deep in the age. Like, this boy,
Messi and Ronaldo weren't doing that at that age.
This is what I'm saying. Like, this boy is so talented, and it's like he's almost near the finished product already that you're thinking he probably will actually kind of crash out within 10 years. He probably won't be able to have as long a career as Ronaldo and Messi because he's literally almost the finished product already. It's scary, man. I mean, we saw how influential he was obviously this season in this run. We saw how influential he was obviously at the World Cup, at the Euros. Like, it's hard to argue what he's doing at 17 that he's not a generational talent. And for me, I don't like handing out the generational talent tag willy-nilly, and that's why I was not a believer when he first came on the scene. But man, he's proved me wrong, man. Like, the boy is out of this world, man. Genuinely out of this world. Yeah.
I quickly final talk predictions. PSG versus Inter Milan. PSG, obviously they're hungry for their first Champions League title. The where they man from Qatar people, the project 10-12 year project looks like it's finally coming into fruition. Their second final, I think, in 5-6 years. Inter Milan, they've already got their cup. This will be their second final in 3 years. Where do you guys see this going?
Inter wins it.
I don't know. I think Inter are overall slightly the better team, but I just feel like it's PSG's time, man. Like when during the tie they were showing the owner, the Middle Eastern Don. I don't know his name, but he's like hella recognizable as the PSG owner. That guy has been through the trenches, and he's there at every single game from the money he put in when he first invested in PSG till now. I just feel like it's their time, man. Like, it has to happen. Like, how many more times are you gonna be like the bridesmaid? You know what I mean? Yeah, I just have a feeling PSG are gonna do it, man.
Nasser El Khelaifi.
Is that my man's name? Yeah.
Nasser El Khelaifi. Yeah.
It's hard to call, man. I'm gonna go Inter as well, though. I just think the experience. I want PSG to do it though, and I think it'll be so refreshing that they've had all these man at different periods where they've had like, how can they not do it with these players? And they've stripped that back and they've actually done it in a way that like no one really thought they would fancy them, and they go and do it. It would be good for them, man. But
I just feel like
just got that Italian,
agreed.
Like,
these men,
you know what I mean?
Have had like the Cavani era, the like Ezekiel Lavezzi era. They had the Ibra era. They had the Neymar era. They had the Mbappe era. Like, bro, these men have had so many quality players and have not been able to get over the hump, bro. So
the thing is, I would say something about that PSG defense. I've seen twice or more than 4 times where that Marquinhos, when you put it on top of him, you get change from him. And I just feel like that's what Inter will try to do. Arsenal didn't finish their dinner, and I feel like Inter will finish their dinner. So yeah, let's watch this space. I think it will be a good
battle of the wing backs, man. 4 unbelievable wing backs. Like, Dumfries' influence in that over the 2 legs, unbelievable, bro. I think there's like 3 assists. Crazy, man. Crazy.
5 goals, 5 goals and assists. Crazy. Shout out Dumfries, man. Yeah, I got my money on Inter as well, man. I think it's just experience. It's just experience. But I wouldn't mind PSG winning it as well, similar to the reasons that you guys stated. And obviously my Dembele agenda will be through the roof. So yeah, man, I don't mind, to be honest, but I think Inter will win. Let's move on to Europa League, man, because I think that is actually the bigger story right now. Now that obviously Arsenal is out, I think the Europa League now is the bigger story from like a Premier League perspective. Strizza, you take it away, man, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch no Tottenham Hotspur, Bodo Glimt. I'm sorry, I did watch the highlights, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought you guys would struggle in this side because Bodo Glimt is a tricky team. We've seen what they've done in the past. We've seen what they've done this season in the Europa League as well, especially at home. And you guys have actually beaten them home and away. How were those sides? Were they actually any threat, or was this pretty straightforward?
So I'm going to talk about the Bodo game, but I want to just like go back a little bit, if that's all right. I want to talk about the Frankfurt game.
Yeah.
Like, I know the round before we played AZ, and I was pretty confident we'd go through that one, so whatever. But the Frankfurt game, there was a lot going on at the time with us in the league, a lot off the pitch, and I had no hope of going through that round. And we drew the first leg 1-1. We're going away to Frankfurt in the second leg, and I was at the home leg, and I was right next to their fans, and I was thinking, there is no way Tottenham are going to go away to a team that they're third in the Bundesliga, they've got an unbelievable home record, have done all season, and we're going to get anything. And we went there, and we won 1-0. We were defensively solid, and we played completely differently to how I've ever seen Ange set his team up. So I was thinking, boy, like, this is, okay, cool, we've got through that. Onto the Bodo game. Look, they're Bodo Glimt, right? So I don't want to give us too much whatever. I was confident going into it, thinking it's either them or Lazio. When I heard they had won, I thought, well, listen, like, we have to go through now, right? But the first leg, again, I was there. We were dominant. The goal at the end, obviously, was disappointing, but 3-1 lead going into a second leg. I know they've got a good home record. I know it's cold, the 4G pitch, whatever. No excuses, yeah? I expected us to go through across, obviously, after winning the first leg 3-1. 2-0 win, great performance, dominant. So we should be. I don't want to kind of overhype it, right? Because I think we're playing Bodo Glimt. They're playing Norway. Like, you know what I mean? We should be going through, okay? But a lot of people are downplaying our achievement, right? And I don't like it because this team have played some good teams this season in the knockout phase and they have won, right? So it wasn't a given we were going to go through. We had a job to do. And everyone likes to ridicule us and laugh at the fact we're 16th in the league. We went there and we got the job done. But I want to say a big shout out to Ange because he has completely changed the tactics. We are not playing with this ridiculous high line. Like, I see it in the league, but in Europe, we play slightly differently. He's adapted it a little bit. We're playing a bit more direct into Solanke. We're playing into the channels, winning second balls, pushing up the pitch. We still press, but the line isn't too high. But obviously, when you've got Van der Ven in the back line, it helps, right? In the league, he's being rested. Obviously, he's pivotal to our chance if we want to win it. But when he plays, we can play a little bit differently. But just in general, man, like I had so much pride yesterday because we got the job done. And there's been so many times, yeah, where people like to laugh at Spurs and they don't get over the line and this, that, the other. And it's been the worst season of my life. Yeah, let me be honest with you, man. Like I've been down bad. Like I've been down bad this season. I ain't really like to show my face. I ain't done none of. I ain't bought no kits. I've still been going to a couple of games, but I've literally been like, I don't even want to talk about Spurs. I go into work, I get taken a piss out of. I go football, get taken a piss out of. Group chats, all of this. So for the first time yesterday, like obviously Arsenal getting knocked out the night before, us going through, I felt proud. And I felt like, you know what? Despite everything that's happened, yeah, and I've been Ange out for a few months.
Ange,
he's bringing me back. I see a little team talk he done after the game, yeah, and I can't lie, he's bringing me back in.
It moved you
because,
bro, I thought he was about to cry.
Bro, he should have cried, man. He's a pussy, man. Drop a few tears, man.
It's yeah. I know, and listen, it's so difficult to kind of like big your team up because it's the Europa League and we're playing Bodo Glimt. Like you, man, have come off the back of playing PSG. Liverpool have won the league. You're looking at me thinking, bro, it's Bodo. You should be winning that, and rightly so, we should be. But I think because of the context of the season, we've lost 19 games this season. You man, 19. Like we are 15th or 16th in the league. We're 1 point off of 17th. So I don't expect to beat anyone. when you're losing against Ipswich and you're losing against Wolves and you're losing against all these other teams, why do I think we are going to go and beat Bodo? Do you know what I mean? So I think to go and do it across the 2 legs was unbelievable. And yeah, man, I just cannot wait for the final now. Like this is it, boy. 17 years, no trophy. And we have got a team that we've beaten 3 times already this season, yeah, who are in a similar position to us, right? We can win this. We can beat them. I did not want Bilbao. In their own stadium, we would not have won. But United, I'm confident that we can get the job done, man.
Damn. And this is what I find so funny. Let me quickly touch on United. Obviously, United, they faced Bilbao, like Strizza mentioned. They beat them 7-1 on aggregate, which is very surprising. I thought Bilbao would deal with them. I think Bilbao are 4th in La Liga. They're doing pretty well, to be fair. But there was no Nico Williams or Iñaki Williams, I think, in the second leg. Nico played in the first leg, but he didn't play. Iñaki didn't play both legs. So a little bit handicapped, but still credit to United. They played brilliantly. They got the result. And they're now in the final against Spurs, who are obviously in a similar position as you guys. League form is horrible, stinky. But somehow, some way, they made it into a Europa League final. And they are the only team in the Europa League and Champions League to not have been beaten. So that's, you have to give Amorim credit for that. Maybe a little bit of Ten Hag as well, but you have to give them credit for that. My thing is this, which I find so funny. I said this in the group chat a few weeks back when you guys were in the semis. Like, both of you, man, are super confident of beating each other. Which is gonna make, which I find, it's not even like there's no humbleness on one side. There's no like, man, a little bit from United fans because they, you guys have beaten them 3 times already this season. So I understand a bit of the confidence from Spurs' side, But United as well, obviously they got the aura. It's United. When United reaches a final, 9 out of 10 times they go on and win it. Obviously, their last Europa League final, they didn't win it, but against the English team, I would fancy their chances. Mace, Toast. You're both your eternal enemies. Obviously, United from a legacy perspective, they've overtaken you guys as the second most successful club in England. And Spurs being your neighbors, but I don't think you see them as a legacy rival. How do you see this fight though? And how will you enjoy it?
Oh man, this is a funny one, isn't it, man? Because for me, innit, like, congrats to these 2 teams, obviously, but this is the 15th, 16th place playoff, innit, man? Like, these are 2 of the worst teams in the English Premier League this season, going head to head for a trophy.
I'm sorry.
And
no,
if you finish my soliloquy, I would not.
Let him land, bro.
I would not swap. I would not. And Mace can speak for himself. But I would not swap 15th in the league and the Europa League. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not happy,
bro.
That it's the semi-final and a second place or third place finish, but I would swap it. So I just don't want people to be under any illusion.
Listen. The Europa League. I'm sick of this whole thing that's going on at the minute about Arsenal are coming out chatting rubbish about whoever wins shouldn't go Champions League. Everyone's ridiculing it. At the end of the day, the Europa League is a separate competition to the Premier League. Yeah, so we can have horrific form in the Premier League, but it's a separate competition. When teams do badly in the Prem but do well in the FA Cup and go on and win it, no one talks about their league form. So why is everyone talking about our league form and saying, "Oh, these 2 teams, El Clownico, all this stuff"? It's got nothing to do with it.
It comes hand in hand,
in the Europa League.
It comes hand in hand.
No, it's a gender. It's a gender because in the Europa League, in Europe, United are unbeaten. As Drew said, they have not lost a game. So you have to give their flowers in terms of and you know what as well? They had a harder side of the draw. They had a harder side of the draw than us, and they got through their games. No one fancied them in their games, and they got through every single one, right? Obviously, the Lyon game was a mad thing, but they got through it. So, and for us, we're not unbeaten in Europe, but again, we had to win our games. So this whole 15th, 16th playoff, no, we are the 2 best teams in the Europa League. We're there on merit, and we deserve to be there, bro. And if we win it, we've had a better season than you. End off. You can't tell. You can tell me. You can say to me what you can tell me what you prefer. That's fine. I can't tell you. You're an Arsenal fan. You have your own opinion, right? But at the end of the day, we've won a trophy, something you ain't done since 2020. Yeah, with Emery's
a European trophy, a European trophy as well.
European trophy, and we're in the Champions League, bro. So what can you really say to me? Nothing.
It's a funny one.
I
Hold
will
on,
never
Toast.
ever disrespect. Yeah, go on.
I think it's a funny one because like this whole, I think like I do want to stay away from like if someone finishes low but they win like a cup, you know, they've had a better trophy. They've had a better season than a team that has finished high up in the league table but have not won a trophy. But I think with this one it's slightly different because it's like the Europa League will give you guys an automatic Champions League place. Whether people think that's merited or not, it's the rules. So I completely agree with Streza. It's nonsense.
I have no issue, Andy, in it with the team who wins the Europa winning the Champions League. I actually think it's a great incentive in it for teams that miss out on the Champions League via the league, going into Europa and getting a Champions League spot. And I'm not even taking anything away from Man United and Tottenham from a Europa League perspective strictly. I'm just saying that perspective has to be had that you are two really bad teams, and whoever wins when the Champions League does come, you're going to be in for a very rude awakening. It's going to, like, you'll be deserving to be in it because you won the Europa, but just understand that the league does not lie. You cannot be 15th and 16th over 38 games and think you're going to just do anything in the Champions League next season. So it's the prize you get. I completely understand, but would I swap it? And you know what? Maybe I'm speaking from a point of bias. Let me give it to the neutral among us then. Andy, I mean, I'm intrigued. What season would you rather have? Like, your team finish 16th and win the Europa, or have a decent Champions League run and finish second? Like, I'm intrigued.
You're not going to finish second. Don't say second. Don't say second.
Nah, but hold on. But let's say they will finish second, right?
Yeah.
I think it's not something you can answer because it's like different. It's a different context and perspective. You know what I mean? And expectation as well. So that's why if he says that, he's within his right. But if you're saying that you're not respecting that, you're also within your right because it's different perspective. It's different expectations. You are not there where.
Let's just remove both teams.
Because hold on. I can speak from a Spurs perspective. Let's say if I was 16th, I had a shit domestic season, but in Europa is going fine. I end up winning a trophy and still get to be in the Champions League. I'll be happy. And I will see myself as having a better season. I will see myself as having a better season than anyone that hasn't won
a no trophy. We have not won a trophy since 08. I think that's the biggest part of this. Like, Liverpool have won trophies. Also, been 5 years, but you've won trophy. I've not seen a brother. I was 13 years old. I barely got any now. I had no facial hair. I was a little man. Like,
that's what I mean.
Was I in secondary school? So it's different. It's different. Like, it's like
that's what I mean. I think like from a Spurs perspective, it's different. I think United, they would probably argue, yeah, Toast, you're right. You know, you probably still had a better season. This is just, I mean, United always win the Europa League, or more time than not, they get into the final. But for Spurs, if Strizza says that, I think he's within his right, bro. Of course. You guys end the season disappointed and unhappy and sad, even though you finished second, but he's not. He is now happy and smiling, whereas Mace and Toast, you guys just been mean mugging the whole episode. That's the facts. It is what it is.
No, it's true. It's true.
It is what it is, man. So
it's true.
I get it. Mace, man, you haven't spoken your piece, man. How would you view this final?
Personally, I want Spurs to win it, and I have my reasons for it.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to say it, but
what?
Secretive. What is so why don't you want United to win it?
As you said, they've won it. So what is it to them? They've won it so many times.
So do you want Spurs to gloat? Do you want Spurs to gloat on you that they've won a European trophy before you, a major European trophy before you guys?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You know what it is? For me, I don't want either team.
Let me tell you the reason. Okay, I said I wasn't going to say anything, but there's nothing that will motivate Arsenal than to see their rivals win a trophy and Europa trophy. So then Spurs need to win it. So Arsenal internally see their rivals that win something. And there's nothing, if you know sports, there's nothing that motivates a man when he sees someone they don't like win something.
But
If
you
that's
don't like
not a
both
big-
of them, bro.
Well,
Arsenal don't like
United
both
is
of them.
different, but when it's your neighbors, like the things, if United winners, in the back of your head, you're thinking United have won they've won the UEFA the Champions League, they've won the Europa League. So in your head, you're like, there's nothing new. But once you see Spurs win it, and once they start clowning you, trust me, deep down, it will hurt. And that's why I want Spurs to win it, because this is our.
So you want to feel pain?
No, I already feel the pain. That's fine. I think it's very important for Arsenal as a whole, that
To feel the
institution
shame and to let it burn them. Yeah.
and exactly. That's why I want Spurs to win it, because
Are you guys going to do a
drive
parade
home.
if you win this? I think
They
so,
should.
right?
Absolutely, they're gonna do a parade.
100%.
They should
Are you
do it.
mad, brother?
Yeah,
Parade.
yeah.
I want a
The
week
streets of
thing. I want a
Tottenham
parade.
are gonna be a
all up.
mazzoline that day. What? Is
Hey,
that a
they
trick
should do
question?
it.
Of course, they're gonna do a parade.
So yeah, I want Spurs to win it.
I'm
I'll
looking
be
forward
real.
to that one, man.
Like, obviously, I know you were asking me in VARBAR group chat, Andy. Like, who do I prefer to win? I don't want to see either of them win it. But if there's a team that will always bring me joy seeing them lose, it's Manchester United. And
Facts.
there's so many reasons, bro, dating back from the 90s, bro. I was just listing them off in my head today. Ryan Giggs, that Mace run he did in the 1999 FA Cup semi-final. 1999, 2000, 2001, 2003. 4 times Arsenal were the bridesmaid for the league. Robin van Persie winning the league with Man United. Sanchez, them stealing Sanchez in our prime. 8-2, ending our 49-game unbeaten run. There's not a day on this earth that I'm alive that I want to see Man United win anything. Fergie time. Oh my God. Fergie and him being in cahoots with the refs. Getting how many minutes extra time? How many penalties at OT? There's not a day that I'm living and I'm breathing where I want United to have success. So if our postcode rivals want to win a cup after 15, 16, 17 years, have at it, man. But United, I want United every single day to feel a reminder that, yes, we finished 15th. Yes, we ended the season trophyless. Yes, we are in hell. I need that hell to continue. So there's no trophies for you, my boys. No trophies for you.
You couldn't have
Fuck
said it
United,
any better, man. You couldn't have said any better, man. For me, I'm exactly where you are. I'm back in Spurs in this one, man. And I kind of want Spurs. 2 things. Based on everything that you said about United, I feel that way as well. But 2, if Spurs win it, I can double down on Arsenal as well. So obviously, you know, the corn will just continue throughout the whole summer until we go again until everything resets again in August, in it. So, and also, you know, Spurs, man, it's been just get something, man, at least, man. If you can't get the big thing, get something, man.
You know what I mean,
Just have it,
like,
bro.
come on.
That's not every day, like.
Hey, you lot are bad, man. But there's no one want the man are just pitying me.
Have it, man.
Just have it.
Nah, but
no one want us to win for me though. You man know what I've been through. Like,
I'm an Arsenal fan and my brother's a Spurs fan, so by default I can't have Spurs win anything. But obviously I've shared my reasons for United to not win it, man. So
yeah, man. This was a Champions League edition episode, man. So we're gonna go straight to the bar. Any shots? I know Strizzle got some, but Gooners, any shots, you guys?
Yeah, I'll take a shot.
Jeez.
I'll take a shot for Spurs, bro. I don't do it, but I want them to win. So shots goes out to our neighbors, Tottenham Hotspur, and I wish them all the luck in the final.
It sounds so sinister. Shalom's support for Spurs sounds so. It doesn't sound
mine's an
sincere.
easy one, man. Like barman, I need a shot of Calpol, man, innit, man? Because this is the 3rd season in a row that I'm taking my medicine, bro. This was the championship window, and we left with nothing, man. Started the episode saying it, ending the episode saying it, man. Back to the drawing board, man.
Nice. For me, we'll save the best for the last. For me, I'll take a shot for Denzel Dumfries, man. I mean, you guys have known for years that this guy, from where he started and where he is now, I could have never, ever foreseen it. This guy has 5 goals and assists. in the Champions League semi-final tie against Barcelona. He's won a Scudetto. He's going to his second Champions League final. He started his career at like an amateur club. He got scouted by Sparta Rotterdam at the age of 19, so he didn't go through no academy. He went to Sparta Rotterdam, Heerenveen, and then made his way to PSV. And in those 3 clubs in the Eredivisie, no one would have told you that this guy would have even got a move to Inter. So even that was a surprise. You know what I mean? This just shows you a testament. It's kind of like a Jamie Vardy situation where like just hard work, perseverance, and just, you know, working hard on your craft will take you so much far rather than just being an academy boy, academy baby, because a lot of his peers haven't even kicked as far as him. You know what I mean? And he's a regular in the Dutch national team as well. So man, shout out Denzel Dumfries, man, because a true inspiration for like people, you know, kids that are currently 18, 19, kids from Suriname as well, his background. Yeah, it's inspiring, man. So yeah, shout out Denzel, man, for sure.
Yeah, my time, yeah. Hey, best to last.
Go ahead, man.
Yo, barman, you may look a real lift or something, man. Sure. I want more than one, actually. I want a big shot. Yeah. I could do the whole 11. I could go through players, but I think there's only one person that deserves it, and it's Ange Postecoglou, because he's been under severe pressure. He started the season, and the fans are optimistic because his first season he did all right. And the way it's unraveled and spiraled out of control, where he's had arguments with fans. How many videos have you seen on social media come out where he's beefing man as he's walking down the tunnel? The press have been onto him. He's lost about 5 stone. I don't know if he's on the Ozempic or it's just the stress of the league position, because he has been under pressure. But to get the team to a Europa League final, and he said all the way back in October, November, I always win things in my second season. And people laughed at it. He did. Yeah?
Yeah.
It could go down as one of the coldest quotes in the history of our club if he delivers the Europa League. No one's been able to deliver a trophy since One Day Ramos. Not Jose, not Conte, not Pochettino, not Nuno, none of them. But some fat Aussie man from Celtic is 90 minutes away for making my dreams that I've been dreaming for the last 17 years come true, to see my team win a trophy as an adult. So please, Gaffer, my Twitter handle is Ange Al. I promise you now, if you win the Europa League, build him a statue. My shot's for Ange Postecoglou. Please get the job done. I don't care about the league. Just bring me the Europa League.
You know what? Sorry, man. I was actually just thinking that, innit, because we all know what football Twitter's like, where you'll see a quote in quotation marks, someone will slap a picture on it, and it's real, and it's supposed to be real, and it's just not real. The fact that Ange stood on business and actually said that quote in real life back in September after losing a game, like, and if he goes on to win this cup, major respect to him, because it's one of the most difficult things in football to win a cup. There's only 4 that you're competing for. So for you to stand on business and say, yeah, we lost today, but I always win something in my second year, and to go on to win something, props to you, man. Like, honestly, I'll take my hat off to him, man. 100%.
Hondo, man. Yeah. Shout out to Ange from down south. Yeah, man. Please like and subscribe. Obviously, this was the Champions League edition on a Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching it. We'll be back again, hopefully on a Monday, for our regular Premier League episode. And then we'll talk more about my club, Liverpool, and their Premier League endeavors. And we will have a special Liverpool episode, Champions episode as well, coming to you very soon as well. Of course, we're still waiting on the Arsenal one. We're still waiting on the Spurs one, United one. But we got two. Since we started VARBAR podcast, it's been 2. I've only seen myself winning the league, innit? Man City, there's no Man City fans in our group, so I mean. So that's coming as well. So stay tuned for that, man. And yeah, man, just share, like, subscribe, as I said. My name is Andrew. Thank you, Mace. Thank you, Strezza. Thank you, Toast. We are the VBP boys, and we out. Peace.
Back to the drawing.